Well, Pezza, we are previewing New Zealand's World Cup final chances today. Just the World Cup
final preview.
Yeah, it's a final preview because this team, they fucking do not miss, Pezza. This team never misses. You asked the question to Jimmy Neesham the other day on our main podcast. You said, will you guys ever be light horses? Because they are just continually the dark horses. It was a great comment from a great man.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And if not light horses, maybe a grey mare, because they're getting kind of old.
Oh, I see.
Old
yeah.
grey mare.
Indeed.
Hey, and
12 players in the squad over 30.
Yeah, is that right?
And the other three are 29.
Let's just have it right. There's nothing surer than the Skeletons making the final four.
Don't worry about 1 foot in, 2 feet in.
Yeah,
2
right.
feet in.
Yeah, indeed. Best top order bat in the world, and Kane Williamson.
And the weird thing is, that's actually how you talk. TGC is brought to you by cricket.com. Oh, the Cricket World Cup cannot start soon enough. You can download the cricket.com app from the App Store. Where else would you download it from, you idiot? Cricket.com. You can also go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Type into the search bar cricket.com/TV, and there you go. There are more videos there for you to watch. As I mentioned before, 12 players over 30 in the team. This is the last dance of New Zealand's golden generation. Do you want me to read you the team?
Sure.
Kane Williamson's the captain. Trent Boult, Mark Chapman, Devon Conway, Lockie Ferguson, Matt Henry, Tom Latham, Daryl Mitchell, Jimmy Neesham, Glenn Phillips, Rachin Ravindra, Mitchell Santner, Ish Sodhi, Tim Southey, and Will Young. They've made every semi-final since 2007. They won the World Test Championship final, of course, a couple of years ago. They played in the final of the T20 in 2021, the semi-final in 2022. They obviously made the finals of the 2015 World Cup, the 2019 World Cup. They've got over the line a couple of times, but the white ball tournament, this is the last dance for New Zealand's golden generation.
Them winning this World Cup would be the story if you actually just follow cricket, because as Jimmy Neesham put last week, it is really what happened in 2019 really is arguably the worst loss you could endure possibly in any sport.
Yep.
With the way it took place.
Yep.
So, I would also love to see them win the World Cup. A lot of people I'd like to see win. It's New Zealand. Historically, nobody's done more with less. Mm-hmm. But now they're doing stuff with more. This is a good team. This ain't cobbled together.
No.
Devon Conway could be the player of the tournament.
Yep.
Genuinely. I honestly think he's the best top order bat in the world, particularly in this format.
Great season for CSK in the IPL.
Yeah, he fucking knows his way around an Indian deck.
Yep.
Kane Williamson has 50 overs to bat. He'll do the business. Daryl Mitchell comes in. He wasn't there in 2019. Mm-hmm. Very, very good player. Jimmy Nish, Latham, Glenn Phillips. There's just guys,
electric. Yep.
Again, guys who can do stuff. Cover. Mitch Santner with the ball, left arm orthodox. I'm rating that style of bowling on these decks. Mm-hmm. Mixing up with Ish Sodhi. So they're covered across the spin department.
Yep.
And then, Boult and Southey do what they do.
They've just beat Bangladesh in Bangladesh, who rarely lose a game, let alone a series over there. They beat them 2-1. Before that, they were in the UK and they lost to England 3-1 after winning the first game. So Kane Williamson is he's the centre point again of the batting lineup for them. He's come back from doing his ACL in the IPL. He batted last night as we were recording this. He scored 54 against Pakistan, retired. He is set to field in the second warm-up game, who I forget that's against. He's not going to play in the World Cup opener against England in that first game of the tournament. But in that warm-up game, they chased Pakistan's 350 down in 43 overs. Right. This is a really good team. Do good teams concede 350? Yes, they do. And they chase them in 43 overs. This is once again how many times in our life are we saying New Zealand, pretty good team? And then you sort of get surprised and they keep winning. New Zealand win the games they should win. And then they always put themselves in a position where it's like, now can you play well against a good team? And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But they've got enough points on the board by beating the teams they should beat to then get themselves into a playoff situation.
Yeah. Like most people who are predicting the Final Four are daredevilishly saying, India, Australia, England, and Pakistan.
Yeah.
It's like there is almost nothing surer than the fact that will not be the Final Four in this tournament. This is not a tournament that is going to go the way of the favourites where the cream just rises to the top.
No.
This is India.
Too many variables.
Teams are having to travel to 8 cities, 9 cities for their games.
Yep.
They do not have anything approaching home comforts. I don't know how much they're out, like playing golf or getting, getting their recreation.
R&R.
They're chilling.
Yeah.
And I think all of those things, like, cat amongst the pigeon style tournament.
Cat pigeon.
It's a cat pigeon tournament. It all tilts New Zealand that way.
Yeah.
Like I just think New Zealand know their way around a tournament that way. I don't think they're going to be overawed by some of the difficulties that'll present itself. Their players seem to me to be very at ease with one another. They know how they play. They love where they sit in the tournament. They won't get the same attention, focus, or pressure as other teams in the tournament. They won't be hounded like other teams in the tournament.
Yep.
But they have excellent players who've done the business in India in big moments, IPL or otherwise. They know their way around the World Cup. I'm hoping to actually elevate them out of dark horse status by talking this way. I just think they are fucking balls deep in this World Cup.
Experience is such a huge part of what New Zealand's going to bring, but also just consistency. And I mentioned before about them just always winning the games they should win. And I think in last year's World Cup, which is the same format, nine round games for each team, 5 wins was enough to get you in. And look, there is definitely 5 wins available for a team like New Zealand in the tournament, because you never see them lose a game. Well, here's one to be clipped up when they do lose a game against, the Netherlands, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. These things can happen. Of course they can. But you very rarely see them lose the games that they should win. So to that end, their team actually might be slightly stronger than what it was 4 years ago, just with the experience. I mean, this is the last dance for these guys with so many guys. No, Guptill's big. I mean, he was such a great player for them for a long period of time. In fact, he was one of their best white ball players ever. But, Glenn Phillips wasn't available. Devon Conway wasn't around.
Daryl Mitchell wasn't around.
Daryl Mitchell wasn't around, indeed. And then Lockie Ferguson, for instance, who has great experience playing in the IPL in India. I mean, so much of this tournament's going to be about Indian conditions as well. And to that end, New Zealand...
So they got pace through Lockie Ferguson?
Pace, skill. New Zealand have such a great record against India as well. And I think if there's one team in the world that India would not want to play against, it's probably New Zealand, because every time they run into them in a tournament, New Zealand always win that game.
Look at the bull case we're making for New Zealand. New Zealand going to win this?
They're going to finish 8th.
I believe they will finish 8th or 9th.
And they'll be lucky to take a game off the Dutch. That's the way I see it. It's a fucking good team. It's a fucking good team. And I think...
But is that what we do? Do we sort of... when we analyse, India and Australia and England, we're looking for holes. We're like, this is where they go wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it the rung below that we start saying, no, but see, they're better than you think they are? Is that kind of what we're doing? But still deep down, we think that they're a rung below? Can he talk?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Great, yeah. All right, New Zealand's 6th.
I think many people would be happy to see New Zealand win the tournament because such likeable players and the good news and the good news for New Zealand as well. Some people think it's Kane Williamson's return and also the good news Bible. It's actually that for the first half of this tournament, the Rugby World Cup's on, so the country's not going to be watching the Cricket World Cup, so absolutely no pressure on them at all.
Yeah, I mean, I just have completely different feelings about the All Blacks than I do for the cricket team. You know what I mean? I actually feel bad now.
New Zealand, what do they know? Do they know things? Let's find out. If you're new to TGC, why not click subscribe for all of our coverage throughout the tournament, match reviews, interviews. It's all happening here on TGC. So click subscribe. If you've enjoyed this video, why not shoot it a like as well? The World Cup is starting so soon. Who's going to win it? Let us know in the comments.